You're a pathetic loser at this game. You take longer to learn about your real-time mistakes than it takes for me to eat a bowl of soup with a pair of chopsticks. You are sick and tired of having terrible teammates, even though you know that your poor, suffering, battered ego is desperately clinging on to an identity as it takes the opportunity and berates. By shoving blame any way it can to protect you, the ultimate failure of the gaming population that has no prospects, no future, no hope of improving as it has no clue. Perhaps you've lost the fire from inside your sun-dried plums. Perhaps you're in a state of perpetual confusion from the continuous unfavourable outcomes. Maybe spectator mode has become your reflective, meditative, trance-like state as you conduct your life with a sense of loss because the deep knowing has consumed you with hate. The inner knowledge that you are completely freaking useless at this game. Now, no matter how many games you play and no matter what you do, you can't put a finger on why you suck so bad at everything you put your hand to. Sometimes you load up Apex Legends and say, hey, maybe I was just playing the wrong legend all along. So you give someone a shot that you hardly gave a second look at before to grow your shriveled schlong, but for only to discover that the same universal truth that was always there you just refused to accept, and that is that you have become separated from your balls because you are completely fucking inept. They left you because you bent over and buried your head deep inside the sands of denial. Like low-hanging fruit, they dropped off from the superfluous tree which has served its purpose, so you better hope you froze a sample in a vial. But before you give up, allow me to pass you some advice to reignite the fire inside your withering sack, something that the pro players and the coaches inherently lack. They have not been what I have been. They have not seen what I have seen. They were not what I was. A useless, talentless, hopeless case of a man so far over the hill in gaming years with reflexes akin to that of a mutated, sedated, dehydrated, castrated, truncated, stagnated, luxated giraffe. And yes, I ate a thesaurus for breakfast this morning, and that should tell you that I am a horse of a man, dedicated to giving you the very best for your Apex Legends future by increasing your in-game lifespan, telling you what I always do about skills, it's the same thing, but in a plethora of angry rants that will wake you from the slumber of uselessness and crown you a king. So let's just get started. First up, let us begin with the most important rule of Apex Legends that everyone seems to super simplify or just continually ignore on the new map, and that is the suitability of a legend to choose their battleground when it otherwise might seem crap. If someone told you that you were going to be fighting Jackie Chan in his prime, and if you haven't already noticed, a fair few of my sentences are littered with rhyme, but not all of them because I simply cannot be arsed. Now, this fantasy fight versus Chan the Man would be selected by you in one of three locations, with A being the Octagon, B a kitchen, or C a park somewhere in Oregon. If you choose option B or C, then you are deader than Johnny Depp's chances of reprising his role as Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates Part 33, because nobody fucks with Jackie Chan when he has a frying pan, frisbeeing fine china plates, or throwing the punches using park swings like boxing heavyweights. It feels like being smacked in the face with a tomahawk missile, bitch! The amount of times I pull off any kind of victory with heroes I seldom play largely comes down to how dumb my opponents are and when to jump into the fray, but also how creative I can be, because the footage you're looking at right now had me in a place where we weren't exactly in the playground of Caustic or Watson, but we managed to hold a position as King of the Hill. And how is that possible? We didn't take a building and layer it with traps, lure the bait in and then dish out the slaps. We didn't bunker down somewhere deep underground. No, we chose a spot with a big ass rock with an entrance to the southern section being the primary block, and like Hell's Gates we'd funnel those fucks in and then control the area of combat as we'd be brapping them on the chin. Now, most people forget about the simplistic nature of this game, and that is that being a goddamn bullet sponge is more important than having amazing aim. Don't get me wrong, it helps to shoot in the right direction, as that will avoid triggering the shit out of your teammates' erections, but many players need to learn the value of using a bit of cover to give your shields time to recharge so you don't sit out in the open and hover. Another thing to consider is the power of your body shield, and that's because people associate colour with a power that they yield. And whilst those people assuming purple beats white, yeah, that actually would be right, but never forget, if the other guy comes out swinging and he's wearing a blue, just remember that 2 white body shields swapped out and all used up has a goddamn purple armor value. Then we need to think about the balancing and the nerfs when it comes to community perception. Well, what happened to the R99 once your belief of its usefulness was shaken and you bought the deception? What? It's no longer top tier because it's not a sniper rifle? Dump it and take whatever needs toned down a trifle. Right? Wrong, dickhead. I remember a video from Jeff Kaplan, the lead developer of Overwatch, and he put out an explanation after the community said his team had made a botch. Probably one of many, to be honest, but this is to do with hero and weapon balancing. Jeff responded and said that sometimes a consensus arises after adjustments were made that you could say were enhancing. It's easy to believe now that they have unjustified strength and then need instant denouncing. Simply put, if everyone calls a buff or a new weapon too powerful due to the YouTubers or streamers' baby tantrums and other outcries, that doesn't always make it true, because counting out the R99 these days would be unwise. It's still a friggin' laser beam, and with reduced mag capacity and increased spread, people's perceptions sometimes mar the capacity for a gun to be effective and fucking shred. All you need to do is watch your favourite streamer or listen to a few people talk, and all of a sudden you've bought into a meta and joined the flock. Sometimes you need to pick up the hemlock and try out the flatline, throw down with confidence and forget the fucking grapevine. Yes, if you've been watching my footage closely instead of listening to my words, you may have noticed a while ago I swapped out my purple body shield for blue. Thank you, you bastards. But here's one thing, I did it and I never looked back. You've probably already written that in the comment section to give me your flack, but the most important thing to know from my gameplay in front of you is that while I made mistakes worthy of a gutter tier, I never surrendered the position or healed too much before looting, and I kept an eye on my rear. Don't waste your time in battles worrying about your aim, because terrible players miss horribly and it amplifies their shame. Mistakes to a bad player are expected, numerous and many, so pull your enemies to your position and then flop out your... do you know what? Rhyming was a stupid idea. Now I've got to finish a sentence that rhymes with many. Well, I don't have any. So whilst the chances of me making any money from this video are dead, because there's no way I'm rhyming for 10 minutes solid, I'm off to bed. However, so few of you clicked on my last video with the Call of Duty that I was gutted about, because for once, that video was an absolute beauty. What's wrong with the gun? Does your gun not work, pal? The gun works. Anyway, I enjoyed making a less than average poem with irregular rhythms, but it's important that I was blunt. And as we say in Scotland, have a nice day, you spiffing fellow. See, you didn't expect that ending, did you? You can't.